Welcome to my tarot card reading for March 2013. Let's start immediately with the tarot cards that we have here, the Orishas. We have Oba, Ogun, and Eshu. Right away, what they're really telling us is about what would be kind of the main topic, the situation. It's going to give us a brief idea what we're going to expect during March 2013. First, we need to pay attention because there's going to be frustration from things that we did or we have done. Could be last year, last month, meaning February or January. Thing is that there are things that we did, governments did, that it creates frustration, anger, and this desire of being isolated, this kind of withdrawal kind of symptom. This is because there is frustration of things that we did or the government has done along that line. And then this is going to push us into a direction. It is going to open doors, possibilities, let's put it like that, on how to deal with this problem. In other words, these frustrations, this anger, this desire of isolation, frustration, feeling totally destroyed, if it is the correct word, is going to push us into a different direction and a different path or course. It's going to open new doors and possibilities. And I'm going to leave it like that because in a few more seconds actually, I'm going to explain a little bit more that is going to add to what I just said. Okay, here we have the astrological cards. We have the Wheel of Fortune representing Sagittarius, Pisces, Jupiter, Cancer. Then we have the other one that is the Five of Swords representing Uranus, Aquarius. Okay, so let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet that has a tendency to make things bigger. It magnifies things. So if someone is in love, is going to feel more in love, etc., etc. So we have Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer. So this is pointing us toward the direction of emotions, feelings, because they're water signs. Pisces is a dreamy sign. At the same time, it's a sign that it has illusions, hopes, and there's going to be a lot of hopes here during the month of March. Illusions, hope, and the Wheel of Fortune is letting us know there's going to be changes on that aspect. Then Cancer, it is a water sign again, so it's a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, but I want to point out Uranus and Aquarius. And Aquarius is a sign that we could say that is kind of the black sheep of the zodiac because it's quite different. Not a lot of people understand them. And they're kind of eccentric. They have a very weird taste for everything. They kind of rebel. And that kind of energy, it is manifesting here because we have Jupiter, Uranus, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Pisces with Cancer. Then we are going to see that nations, people, regions, individuals, there's going to be a very high tendency that under this frustration because of the governments, what they're doing, etc., etc., we're going to see that individuals, governments, nations, etc., etc., we're going to start seeing more riots, maybe civil wars, People are going to start opposing. They're going to become rebel. We're going to start seeing what we're seeing in Greece, the rise of the neo-Nazi group. So we're going to start seeing these kind of groups, neo-Nazi, the ETA in Spain, the FARC, those kind of groups that are rebels by nature. We're going to start seeing that new groups are going to emerge. They are going to not only emerge, they're going to start spreading all over. They're going to gain momentum because there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of frustration, and people are isolating themselves. They don't want to deal with what the government is doing, what is going, and they feel defenseless. And that's where then the energy of Jupiter, Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, and Uranus are entering, because then they're letting us feel a little bit that we must do something about it. And that's where the Uranus Aquarius thing start emerging, and is all about rebellion, being rebel, and go against. And then Pisces is giving, Pisces and Sagittarius, they're giving this hope, this illusion, this dreamy, this desire of making something, bringing a change. And Uranus is a planet that brings quick and sudden changes. So we're going to start seeing that. Cancer is about being loyal. And so the concept of this frustration is going to raise questions of what the government is doing for me, or what my boyfriend, girlfriend, my husband, the relationship that we are with, could be romantic or not, it could be political, economical, whatever it is. We're going to start questioning about loyalty and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to start seeing that nations are going to start making decisions based upon that. It's going to be a very drastic, big change, all based on frustrations, a lot of emotions, feelings, and there's going to be a little bit of a rebellious hue in this kind of movement. Okay, we already have an idea what is going to happen during the month of March. We're talking about frustration, this desire of this anger and isolation desires. He's pushing people, humans, individuals, nations, citizens, to stand up against what they think is not fair, and that's where these rebellious spirits start emerging. Now, for the first week of March, my weeks are 8 days, so it's from March 1st to March 8th. We have this kind of card showing up, and it's talking about separation, divorce. So during the first week of March, what we're going to experience is a breakup on relationships. In a nationwide, globally, politically, economically, it means that allies will stop being allies, or we're going to start seeing a breakup on communications between commercial partners, trading partners, and things like that, or even in a love life. The thing is that breakup, divorce, a breakup on relationships is the main topic for the first week of March 2013. The second week of March, March 8th to March 16th, this is a kind of energy that is showing up. There's going to be desires, or the main topic, or how it's going to manifest. Everything is about spending money and spending money freely. Also, we could say that there is this liberation, breaking off of something. Notice that the topic of breaking off, divorce, separation is there. So we might feel that we want to break up with a debt, for example, by spending more money. And that's the main topic that we're going to see. For example, Japan, during the second week of March, is highly probable pump money into the system. The same thing as the United States is going to do. Probably they don't do it during that time, but they're probably going to approve laws that open the doors to spending money, pumping more money into the system. So they're trying to break off being liberated of something, we could say debt, by spending freely, spending more money. In other words, creating more debt. So liberating, trying to break off free from debt by having more debt. And that's the kind of energy that we're going to start seeing during the second week of March. By the third week of March, we're talking about March 16 to 24, we have the Ten of Swords, and there's going to be, during that third week, nations are going to start feeling, nations, family, the kind of energies of relief. We're going to start feeling like this sensation that everything is over, a relief. And this is kind of interesting and really good, because we have to remember that Mercury is going to be retrograde from February 23rd until March 5th. So this kind of liberation, this feeling of is normal, because Mercury is turning direct by the day number by March 5th. So what I'm explaining here makes a lot of sense when we take that under consideration. And then we're going to start feeling that moment, that relief, by the third week of March. By the third week, we're definitely going to start seeing that relief. We're going to, whatever laws are being approved, they're going to make us believe that everything is fine, and we're going to start feeling relief. Whatever movement that we get into, we're going to start feeling like that's the relief that we're looking for. The silver bullet, whatever it is, that's kind of energy. By the fourth week of March, we have celebration. Nations are going to be celebrating, individuals, institutions, they're going to be celebrating whatever laws are being approved, whatever they seem to be hints of hope, they're going to be celebrated. That's what we have by the fourth week of March. Okay, when we put together the top card with the bottom one, we have a vertical line, and the vertical line adds more information to the reading. What we have here, what is letting us is, like, let's start from the bottom, the divorce, the breakup of relationships, whatever the relation is that it breaks off. It could be a town like in Spain, Catalonia, that it wants to become independent. This is if it happens, this is what it's telling us. Once the breakup is done, everyone is going to feel relief. There's going to be a relief sensation. And when we look at the child card that is in the horizontal line, it's letting us know again, it's a breakup of something. We break free from debt, whatever it is that is keeping us prisoners, and we start spending money like crazy, because that's what is highly probably going to happen during the month of March. So we're going to start seeing nations that they're going to do something about their debt, for example, and they start spending money, pumping more money into the system, and obviously they're going to start celebrating these joys with a lot of joy. And when we put all this together, all these four cards, this is like some kind of whirlpool or twist. It starts spinning and spinning. Then we have what we have in the center is the kind of energy that is going to manifest. Sorry. We have the Fool, and the Fool is letting us know that nations are going to act up. They're going to do something. If it is wise or not, it's not important. They're just going to do what they're going to do. If the advice is the right one or the wrong one, if they follow it or not, they're independently, they're going to do what they're going to do. And what they're going to do is the most fascinating thing. We have here the devil, and what he's letting us know is that those actions, what they're going to create is some kind of slaves, attachments. We could expect obviously more austerity, more cuts during the month of March. And what is happening is that nations, countries, people, whatever it is, they're going to take decisions, and those decisions are going they're trying to break free from something, but these new laws, these new things that are going to be approved or going to be done, they're going to create more slavery. Okay, that's not the tarot card contradiction, it's the human nature contradiction that we're seeing here. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense. Okay, now let's go to the trilogy. And the trilogy, we have here the Celebration, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Five of Cups. And here I'm going to say exactly what I said on my Spanish version. And there's going to be a very someone is going to put the hands, is going to intervene. How, I don't know what the person is going to do or the institution, but there is going to be a figure, a female or a woman or something along that line. It could be from a symbolical perspective. We could say, for example, the church is compared to a woman. So there's someone or something that is going to intervene during the month of March. That figure, it has enough power or enough influence in politics or economics or even religion, we could say. The thing is that there's someone with influence, a woman, that is going to intervene during the month of March. Obviously, it has to be something very important, very good to have the tarot cards talk about this. And that's what we're going to start seeing. There's going to be an intervention. Everyone's going to be celebrating. Everyone will be cheerful about it. And you're going to be celebrating about something that happened already. It's a breakup, a divorce, a broke up, or whatever you want to call it. Something that happened, but people are quickly overcoming this breakup. Could it be about the Pope that this card is talking about? We don't know. But what is happening is there is an intervention, people are celebrating, and people are overcoming that, figuratively speaking or literally speaking, if it is a family, the divorce or the separation. Okay? When we look at these other cards that we have here, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the King of Swords. And I believe that the King of Swords represents Aquarius. Again, we're talking about rebellion, a very rebel spirit. And we're talking about a breakup. And this breakup, notice March is about breakups. And what is letting us the card is that the mind is very clear. Whoever decides to break up the relationship is the person, the nation, whoever it is very clear of why they're doing that. And it's kind of, the spirit is kind of on the rebel side. Why they're doing this is kind of it will feel like a rebellious spirit behind it, and it breaks, and it's a desire of breaking up. Then the other card here adds more information to the reading, and we have the 10 of swords that I already explained, but then we have the 6 upside down, and the 6, it is a very interesting one, because you heard me. There's going to be laws that are going to be passed, decisions that we might be taking, and blah blah blah. We're going to feel like a big relief. We are very dreamy, very hopeful that everything is going to be different, that everything is going to change. We're pumping more money into the system. We are making changes and blah blah blah. But at the end, the tarot cards are saying that nothing is going to be fruitful. Nothing is going to work. It's going to be a total failure. Okay, so when we're going to start seeing that total failure, I don't know, maybe at the end of March, maybe in the next month, who knows. But the tarot cards are saying beforehand, it's not going to work. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, so we have seen so far that there is some frustration, this desire of isolation, doing something about what is frustrating us, be it in a family level, nation level, global level, whichever level it is, institution, government. We're talking about the rise of dissidents. We're going to see a lot of riots, more people marching, more groups like the neo-Nazis emerging and becoming stronger, asking for changes, real changes. That's what the tarot cards are saying. But we're seeing that the governments are going to start acting up. They're going to do whatever they have to do. We're going to start believing that everything is going to work out. They're going to pass laws, but the laws are going to be more rigid, more arid, they're strong, to the point that they're making us slaves. So everything start manifesting in the month of March. That's what we've seen. There's going to be a very important figure that is going to intervene, but at the end, everything is a total failure. Nothing is going to work as they thought it would be. Now, the tarot cards are saying what I usually use for advice, and this is what we see here. And let me start with Saint Elizabeth. The story behind Saint Elizabeth is she was a queen. She had obviously money. The husband died, and she was under the wing of, I don't remember, it was the brother-in-law or her own brother, but I think it was more the brother-in-law. And she was always spending money in charity, giving up money for orphans and all that kind of stuff. And the brother-in-law, he cut her off from the family, so she became poor, and she ended up helping orphans. I believe she became a nun. But the thing is here, listen again, a breakup. The brother decided to finish the relationship. He tossed her into the street, and she went into this cycle. Saint Teresa, she represents hope, a hope of finding the way to, in this case, heaven. And then we have the 10 of Swords. Notice 10 of Swords again. This time, it is talking about being the victim. When we put them together, is what is letting us know that we have to be a little bit careful during this month, because we might play the victim or even the martyr. To be very careful, even how we spend the money. To be very careful, because we might even turn a little bit pessimistic. That's the tendency. So we have to, even what the cards are saying, we have to keep our hopes being a little bit optimistic. Try to avoid being a little bit of a victim or even a martyr. Be a little bit wiser, be more analytical. Check and see the signs on the wall and take action accordingly. Okay? Don't let yourself be fooled by the wrong signs. Try to use the correct judgment. And I hope that this is helpful for you, and have a wonderful March 2013.